take up how you want. Hello, Grenada. How you doing? Hey, partners. Me know what you know. But I'm a real Grenadian. Listen this. February 7th is a special day when all Grenadians should remember Sir Eric Mantugeri. Eric formulated a plan, took it to the Queen of England. When he returned, Grenada gained no independence. So the vex and stretch him out. He was a champion without a doubt. We must now appreciate the good thing Uncle done. So let us stand up now, what attention. Anytime the anthem play, and don't procrastinate. Just join with me and celebrate everybody. Show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Lovely is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag, show them your flag and say happy independence. To all Grenadians, well we jumping up and waving that flag. We must not forget Mr. Anthony George. He is the man that designed the flag for we. Right now we say thank you, Georgie, for what you done for this country. Come and take a bow, you have the best design in the world. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Lovely is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy independence to all Grenadians. February 7th is a special day when Grenadian everywhere should say a special prayer. Say a prayer for this nation, government and opposition, so that they could see eye to eye and work hand in hand. We just had a big election, so it's time to unveil a plan to put back this country in position number one. So I don't want to see idling, I don't want to get no bickering. Let's continue working from success to points and in everybody. Show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Lovely is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag, show them your flag and say happy independence. To all Grenadians while we jumping up and waving that flag. We are telling this whole wide world that we are proud to be Grenadian. So no matter what critics say, we ain't going anywhere. We staying right there and continue to build this country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Lovely is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy independence to all Grenadians. Hey! It's a boy. This place nice now. All down. A lime juice by soul. And lice. Sing nice boy. We gonna again. February 7th is a special day when all Grenadians should stand and say hey, 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 hooray. Let us stand up and take a toast to the island we love the most and keep steering this nation on the right course. I don't care which party you vote in or which politician you back in. Hey, now it's not the time for any politicking. Let us forget about the melee, the old talk and the debate. Come celebrate with me on the 7th February. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Lovely is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag, show them your flag and say happy independence to all Grenadians. No pressure can make us surrender. Grenadians is strong like the rock of Gibraltar. We went through revolution, invasion and Ivan. MLE brought so much pain and Grenada rise again. No one can deny Grenada is a paradise. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy anniversary. Love is my country. Everybody show them your flag, show them your flag. Put it up high and say happy independence. Grenada, God bless you, Grenada, God bless you, Grenada. God bless you, Carriacou, God bless you, Carriacou, God bless you, Carriacou. God bless you, Bitty God bless you, Bitty God bless Bitty too. God bless you, Grenada, God bless you, Grenada, God bless you, Grenada. God bless you, Carriacou, God bless you, Carriacou, God bless you, Carriacou.
Ooh, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dang. Yes, man. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Another year of love and exuberance. Once again, we come to create history. 1974, 7 February. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Development and transformation. Another year to live in unity. Man, we working hard towards the next 50. Now I know we love independence, and we must make sure there is no arrogance. Man, on this island, we love to celebrate. We dealing with love, we never deal with no hate. Why? We want people with skills, those of us willing to build. We want people move forward, we don't want coward. To fill our hearts with joy, plenty people must employ. That will solve the problem, for us to be proud to sing we anthem. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Another year of love and exuberance. Once again, we come to create history. 1974, 7 February. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Development and transformation. Another year to live in unity. Man, we working hard towards the next 50. Ooh, darling, yeah. Man. Yeah, I will always stand proud because I'm a Grenadian. I will do anything to protect this nation because my neighbor's string buried in this country. When I say I love Grenada, is no hypocrisy. Cause I'm going to stand right here because I'm a patriot. Man, I cannot go nowhere. This is the land of my birth. So much people run away looking for prosperity, but I say not me. I stay right here to build my country. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Another year of love and exuberance. Once again, we come to create history. 1974, 7 February. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Development and transformation. Another year to live in unity. Man, we working hard towards the next 50. Hey, ha. Yes, man. Man, I realize we very patriotic and we love our flag. We willing to dead for it. Man, even when the pressure getting hectic, we always stand strong, we never get chaotic. Why? Because we have resilience. Grenadian have plenty patience. We doesn't keep enemy. We love to live in unity. To develop this nation, we must embrace transformation. For progress and transparency, we moving forward to the next 50. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Another year of love and exuberance. Once again, we come to create history. 1974, 7 February. Come on, let we celebrate independence. Development and transformation.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean.
Who put this country in this crisis?
I wonder.
Who put this country in this crisis?
It's once again time for Talking Points, yeah?
People some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. You know, I know, they put their hand in the cookie jar.
And of course, we will be having a guest on with us tonight, probably in about the next 10-15 minutes or so. We'll be joined by the newly elected Youth President.
VIP stole the cookie from the cookie.
So we look forward to having that discussion, yeah? Hope that you all have been having a wonderful night. Good night to the listeners listening via 91.9, 91.5. Miss Mary, a special good night to you. I know that you're always locked in. What if that radio does ever go off? Good night to you, my dear. Auntie Myrna, good night to you.
Nobody wants to take the blood for them fighting.
And my good friends in La Fortune, good night to you as well.
Yes, you then.
We say good night to the guys out there in Rose Hill. It's been quite a while since I've been able to get up there.
Yes, you.
But good night to each and every one of you. Hope that you all are having a fabulous night tonight.
Everybody
Pablo.
Nobody wants to take the blood for them pointing finger. I say man, the pointing finger.
And good night to all the listeners joining us via the YouTube, via the Facebook. I won't be able to do the roll call tonight. Yeah, due to the adverse weather conditions, I got in a little later than I wanted to.
Yes, you. Then
A totally unavoidable situation. It was raining cats and dogs. Yeah, I even saw a pig fall and all from the sky.
Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody wants to take the blood for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Pointing fingers. Nobody wants to take the blood for them pointing fingers. Number 5 stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then who? Number 6 stole the cookie from the cookie.
I recognize from part of our discussion last night, a lot of folks are pretty concerned about the situation with the new direction that the CBI program is taking. Huh?
Take the blood for them pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. I say man, the pointing fingers. Nobody wants to take the blood for them pointing fingers. Number 7 stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then who? Number 8 stole the cookie.
So there was a parliament sitting today. I know there was a bill there in relation to Nawasa, and I think I'm taking some of the responsibility off of Nawasa. And I have not seen the bill. You know, I like to discuss these things when I myself have seen the bill. I have not seen the bill.
Nobody want to take them.
And I was not in a position to listen to the parliament sitting today.
I stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then they me.
I'll take the opportunity and make sure that I listen tonight when I get in. We say a special good night to Camille Teresa Scott. Somebody go bring the message for you and say that, look, I'm talking points. Make sure and they send greetings. We could not have gotten there today. I couldn't even listen to Parliament sitting, so I could not have gotten there today.
Yes, you. Then number 8 stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you. Then all the goodies. Everybody.
So good night to all of you under the YouTube, all of you under the Facebook. Yes, remember to, as who said they just know, yeah, Hulk up the live. Chris.
Nobody want to take them down for them pointing fingers. Number 9.
We can't give the new Utah president of the new National Party anything under 200 likes tonight. No. And we already have enough people to pass 200 likes, right? Nice. We dare not give her anything under that, yeah?
Everybody pointing fingers. Nobody want to take them down for them pointing fingers.
I know someone is calling. Let me go to the phone line. Hello, good night. I think I know what's happening here. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night. Thank you very much.
Camille Teresa Scott. You come out?
Yes.
All right. We didn't think. How the feelings?
bad.
All right.
Say good night to everybody. I ain't gonna stay long because I want to go back and rest.
No. We don't mind. Take your rest tonight. Make sure you sleep and so.
Bye-bye.
All right, my dear.
Matty and Matthew, good night. Bye-bye. And Mr. Watt. Later.
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, so we got the call from Cami. She is out of hospital. Yeah, so she's out of hospital. Nice, yeah.
Stolen cookie from the cookie jar. Yes, you.
So come on, folks. We're not giving the UTAM president anything under 200 likes, eh? Oh boy, Cami, I know what's going on with you with that rain, eh? Oh gosh, I could understand. Believe me. I believe I know what's going on with you with that rain falling there right now, Papa. Yo. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. What's up? It's a very time, my brother.
That voice song familiar, boy. I find that voice song kind of familiar-ish.
Sheldon, my brother, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I just have a little, the normal throat problem that comes up every other month or so.
Yeah, man. It's a long time. It's a long time I hear you, man.
Yeah, man. And how is Carriacou and Petit Martinique?
Man, well, Carriacou and Petit Martinique not great at all, and that is the reason why I say let me call you, make sure I call you tonight and talk to you tonight. I can't make tonight pass and I talk to you, talk to the nation. I need the world to know what really happening in Carriacou and Petit Martinique right now.
No.
You hearing me?
Yeah, and you, man. You go cut and go.
All right, night. Okay, yes. So let me go straight to the point one time because that's how I just drop it. Good night to the whole world. Grenada, Petit Martinique, America, China, the people in the diaspora. Good night.
Ziggy, your connection seems. Ziggy, your connection seems to have dropped. Ziggy.
And speak about. Number one, I'm going to talk at the center.
Your connection dropped.
I don't know why.
Your connection dropped a short while ago.
You hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, the people, the foreigners, the people in the diaspora who getting concession to come back home and build a house. They're getting concession to bring the material from America to build a house. They're getting concession to bring home a car. And you have some of them, after they build a house, they bring the car. The government still giving them pension money, and they guys who retire from America and come back in Grenada, they're getting pension money back home in Carriacou, and that's happening right now. And nobody can tell me a lie. That is the truth, and I have facts, I have everything to back up on that. Them thing is not right. That's the reason why you see the minister, he don't care about the local people, he don't care about people on the island in Carriacou, he don't care about people on the island of Petit Martinique, he only care about people in the diaspora. You have to make sure they're okay. He putting them on pension payment, he put in there, he doing all kind of wickedness, and then nobody cannot say anything about it. Stay quiet. Look, they're fighting. Petit Martinique Health Center have a big notice. They close, right? They close. So anybody sick, anybody get a cut, anybody get anything, they have to rush them to Carriacou. How to get to Carriacou? They have to go all the way around on the long distance way to come to Carriacou to go to the hospital. It doesn't matter what injured, they go dead. Petit Martinique can have nothing safe. They're fighting to fix up the Welcome Center in Petit Martinique right now to have a cookout on Friday coming, the Independence cookout. You're telling me this thing make any sense in Petit Martinique right now, and people want a roof over the head. Ziggy. People want the health center fixed, so if they're sick, they could rush to the nurse or the doctor. I should let me find this thing is right.
Let me ask you a question. What is the situation with the health center in Petit Martinique at this point in time?
It closed down because the water soaking into the brick and the plies, everything falling down inside. So if the doctor have to be inside of the hospital, he can't do anything. Somebody have to hold an umbrella over his head. Somebody have to hold a bucket over his head for the blood to bust his head. It's not in no good condition, and that is thing the minister ain't talking about. But there was in Petit Martinique on Sunday, and they had a big church service, and the prime minister still not walk down and look at the health center. So that to tell you the kind of level this prime minister and the minister in Carriacou Carriacou is. They just like to flutter around and play the beach with the two biggies and make people in the diaspora feel that everything is okay in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, which not. Everything not okay in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And as I speak, instead of them to fix the clinic, no, they send up some guys from Carriacou today to go in Petit Martinique to fix the welcome center for the 12 big cookout this weekend coming. The same as Independence cookout. That the kind of level of stupidness that going on in Carriacou and Petit Martinique right now. So this NDC government, they don't care what people have comfort. They don't care if the people have a roof over the head. They don't care nothing. They care about just going and cover a part for them to go and cook and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
it seems as though all they're interested in right now is that they're interested in the aesthetics. They're not interested because, for instance, suppose somebody on Petit Martinique right now, they're fixing back their home and they get injured. They get a cut or something like that. That means
now that,
but that is nonsense, brother.
That is nonsense.
So you're telling me now that person has to leave Petit Martinique and go on over to Carriacou?
Yes, they have to. They have to try to get a speedboat to take them into Windward. And if they get into Windward, then that will rush them to the hospital. And that was going on right now, where that they could have just run to the clinic right there. The clinic could have time stop the blood or do whatever, band them up. And then they get a nice ride over to Carriacou and go to the general hospital. Or they have to go to Grenada, they take them to Grenada. But now there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. So if you have any emergency, matter of fact, if you have any emergency right now in Petit Martinique, the person gonna dead. If they're strong enough, they're gonna be okay. But if not, they're gonna dead. And that's the kind of things they have to look into in Petit Martinique. And we're not talking about Petit Martinique, not even a Build Back Better House starting Petit Martinique. Not a Build Back Better House starting Petit Martinique. And the minister have it barely to put up. He spent $30 million on house, on roof materials, and the people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique cannot get roof materials. So I don't know why they're lying for the people and making the people in the diaspora feel that they're spending money and people getting material, and the problem is they don't have no workman. You have plenty of workman in Carriacou, so don't bother with them. It's a lie.
Well, it is clearly obvious that they have a certain type of hatred for the people of Petit Martinique. I don't know what. Well, let me don't say I don't know. I know that Petit Martinique people did not support them the last election, and due to that, they don't like them. So, anyhow. But Ziggy,
yes.
Let me continue that conversation tomorrow night. I have two nice young people I want to bring onto the program right now. I ain't saying you don't nice, boss.
No problem, my brother.
Listen, I don't say you don't nice. Hold on. I want to make sure because I want my Carriacou and Petit Martinique people to understand. I'm not saying you do nice. And I'm not saying
tomorrow night I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna talk more because I have plenty more to put out, right? That just start. I'll do it on my live. But sometimes not everybody listen to my live. I need to do it live on your live so the world could hear because they're putting out the wrong things outside there for people and it's not true.
No man, we have to deal with that, man. We don't let them get through that, right?
Of course.
But
I'm going to be up in country. I'm going to be up in country by Tito Bar and sing karaoke and having like a fun up in country.
No, Ziggy.
I'm going to be up in paradise, seawood.
Ziggy. Yes, no. You can't go alone. You can't go alone. Me and you go have to go up there. Me and you go have to go by Tito.
Lovely. Oh, lovely. And I want to say good night to all my fans and them. Good night to the whole of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, the loyal NMP people. Good night. And let me keep focused. Keep your head on the shoulder. Good night, Sister Kate. Good night, Dr. Modest. And good night to the lovely, the best, the princess. That's Miss, help me, Sheldon.
Honorable Emlyn Pierre.
Miss Emily Pierre, good night to you. I call them today the tree queen. Them the tree queen in the parliament sitting, and then we have King Kit Claudius Mitchell. He is the king. They hate that. They don't like to hear that, but I'm gonna continue calling him the king.
Yo, bye bye.
Claudius Mitchell.
Bye bye, Ziggy. We'll talk tomorrow night.
All right, good night.
Later, man. Yes, indeed, folks. And as I said, I've got two young people on the line with me. Let me make sure that I'm hearing them. Good night to both of you. Hello. I think all your mic muted. Let me hear you. Young lady, good night to you.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night.
And good night to you, young man.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Boss, I Sheldon boss. It's Mr. Sheldon Scott. I bring all you up one time. Folks, we've got with us both the president and let's say deputy president? Yeah, the deputy president. The president and the deputy of the New National Party Youth Arm. And you know, on Sunday, the New National Party had their youth convention, and we've got the two persons at the top echelon of the youth arm of the New National Party. We've got them here with us tonight. Good night to you, Miss Amanda Japel George and Mr. Terrick Frank. How are you all doing?
I am fine. How are you?
The truth again. We go talk off here. The truth again. Terrick, the truth again. We go talk. I'm trying. So how have you all been going thus far? I know the convention was on Sunday, but I know there was quite a bit of work that was taking place before, and I don't know, Ms. Japal, you want to start on that particular one. There's quite a bit of work taking place before you got to this particular stage. How have things been going with the New National Party Youth Arm and going out there and getting that job done? How has it been going?
I think everything is going excellent, Sheldon. I don't know if you were at the convention, but you saw the number of youths that were out in the convention. It was over 300-400 persons. So that should tell you we have been on the ball. We have been mobilizing. We have been going out, doing our outreach, doing our community service. So we've been putting in the work for this to happen.
Yes, indeed. And imagine, you're saying about 200-300 youth. That is with, let me just pull you all up properly. Nice, right? Yeah, just making sure I do my thing proper. Nice, right? Yeah. Now, and that is still with a situation where when you go out and you speak to young people, there are many young people that are scared. They don't want to come out to an activity, a political activity of the New National Party. They're afraid. If the government holds an activity, they will go. But when a New National Party has an activity, they are scared to come. They're supportive. But they don't. What have you been hearing from some of the young people out there? Both of you, what have you been hearing? First of all, you, Ms. Japal.
I'll tell you this, right? I was really surprised with the numbers that showed up, right? And the top things that you are hearing is victimization and discrimination, because it is at this point in time at an all-time high, you know? So our youths and people in general are suffering, because I even heard a story, right? And it's from a cousin of mine quite up in St. John's. She was doing road work, and she was told that she couldn't go to an NNP rally. She couldn't go to an NNP zonal meeting. So this is the type of situation that we're faced with currently with our youths, and our youths are scared to come out. But as I said, I was really surprised, because some were on the corridors. They couldn't get in the line of the media, but they were on the corridors showing their support and cheering us on. So, and that is something that I commend them for, and I really appreciate it.
And you, Terrick, what have you been hearing from some of the young folks out there when you interact with them? And we having a youth activity, come on out and that kind of thing. What have you been hearing from them?
So good night to everyone once again. In relation to that, just to build on what the president said, is basically persons having that fear of coming out to attend different activities. But in the interest of time, in the interest of space, we advise them to come out. There will not be any cameras allowed at certain areas, so that they can be protected and feel that form of protection. But we encourage them to come out, take part. Is their constitutional right. They're covered by the Constitution of Grenada, so they shouldn't fear anything or fear anyone. So basically on Sunday, I was impressed with the number of persons that turned out to the youth convention, I must say. And as Amanda said, persons were in the corridor, who was downstairs, just doing what they're supposed to do in supporting the New National Party. And I must applaud them for that.
Yes, indeed. And I just want to go back a bit, because we speak about the youth convention a bit more. But starting with you, Ms. Japal, how did you become involved with the New National Party? And why the New National Party? You had an option, you know, it had another party there. And you had a third option, you could have stayed out of this thing totally. But we see you on various platforms, we hear you speaking, we hear you expounding on various issues that are taking place in Grenada as a young person, and from the perspective of a young woman here in Grenada, you are expounding on what you see, because you're talking from your perspective now and the future. How and why did you get involved? I mean, a lot of people afraid. We're just speaking about a lot of people even afraid to come to the meeting and be seen. How you become involved? Why you become involved?
Well, Sheldon, I'll tell you this. I'm not afraid of anyone or anything. I shared my story during the convention. Mahatma Gandhi said it best: be the change that you wish to see in the world. And oftentimes what we find is that we sit in the corner of our home, sit in the corner of shops, and we speak on issues. But who's hearing that? Is it people that can change, make changes on what we're speaking about? No. Most of the times it's our peers or family. No, you need to take that to where it matters, where your voice can be heard. And so I decided that there are things that I wanted to see change. There are things that the new National Party could change. There are things that NDC could change, you know? And when I chose the new National Party, I'll tell you this, right? I like to make my own decisions. My parents heavily support the new National Party, that I can see, right? But what I did is I weighed my options. I compared the new National Party to the National Democratic Congress. And I realized that the new National Party, the values, the beliefs aligns with what I believe in. And it stems back to my childhood. My parents, and I gave that story before, my parents are persons that believe in supporting people and believe in giving and believing in the poor and the vulnerable and helping them move from one place to the next. My mother always shared a story with us and said, hey, I grew up without shoes, I grew up without clothes and all these things. And these things resonates with me. And so when I looked at the new National Party, my values and beliefs just aligned with them. And so therefore I chose the new National Party because of my values and beliefs, and also because they get the job done. Countless programs for youths has been achieved under the new National Party. And so when I made that decision, I went to my MP at that time, Mrs. Emily Pear, now a political leader, and I said to her, I want to make a difference. I want to see things happen. You know, how can I help? How can I be involved? I want to do something, right? And she gave me that opportunity to give a speech on one of our zonal meetings that she was having in our area. And I took that opportunity, and here I am today.
And let me ask you, Tarek, how did you become involved?
All right, so I became involved with, well, my parents are well, how should I put it? Are strong supporters of the new National Party. If anybody know Mr. Victor Alexander from Vendom, also known as FA, they will not be able to dispute that. So he
last night I was saying I finally remember who Fitzroy is. You know, that's what I was speaking about last night. Was he?
So he has been a strong pillar of the new National Party for many, many years. At the age of 4, I was on a boat heading to Carriacou in a rally. That's lead up to the 2008 general election. And I could never forget when I came back down, I was so tired that I even missed my end of term exam just by going to Carriacou with my grandfather at that specific time. But coming to that, I aligned myself with the new National Party because of their values, their principles, their aims and objectives outlined by the Constitution, in which brings value to any young person that wants to join the organization. So at that time, when I got to the age of thinking and really trying to align myself with a party, I decided that I'll choose the new National Party. And I did choose the new National Party because I believe in the principle of everyone should have a decent housing, job for every able-bodied woman and child or man who is willing to work. The party do not uphold any form of victimization, any form of discrimination. So it's for us to align ourselves with something of that nature, and I am privileged and I'm proud to be a new National Party member.
Yes, indeed. And folks, for those of you just joining us, I'm speaking with the President and Deputy of the New National Party Youth Arm, Ms. Amanda Japal George and Mr. Terrick Frank. And Amanda, you're also the MP for St. Andrew Southeast in the Youth Parliament, and we want to officially congratulate you from the New National Party, well, let's say from Talking Points. We want to officially congratulate you.
Thank you.
Let me just say, you're following in good footsteps.
I am.
Yes, indeed. Now, what are some of the things that we can look forward to from the youth arm of the New National Party in the next few months, the year 2025? We've heard another political party saying they are the party of youth. If you check back the history of the New National Party, they are wrong. I could show you a picture of the, well, not a picture, I could pull video of the Honorable Emlyn Pierre being sworn in back in the year 2003. Much slimmer, I must say. And at the age, I think she was in the 20s at that point in time. We've had many other young persons who have been brought in within the New National Party and have been given the opportunity either at the level of the Senate or even to run for seats. You had Devon Roche running. I think he was about 19, 20 or something at that time that he ran on behalf of the New National Party. So we've always been the party of youth. What are some of the plans that we can look forward to, that the young people of Grenada can look forward to from the New National Party Youth Arm for the year 2025?
Well, as you know, Sheldon, we do have a new executive, which is due to meet this week. But as in any organization, I think what we need to do right now is to evaluate the level where we're at and create a strategic plan. So that is where we're at right now, creating a strategic plan and actionable initiatives that reflects the needs and wants of the youth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So basically, we're at the point where we're building our youth arms. We would like to implement programs, have training sessions, engage our young men and women, have community outreach, collaboration, and networking among our youths. So this is where we're at the moment. And there's a lot of things that is going to happen. Sometime next week, we're collaborating with TAMCC's library to have an independence quiz. So that is something that you can look forward. So look forward to great things happening within the New National Party's youth arm.
Yes, indeed. And I'm seeing Everett saying good night here. Everett, make sure he's sending good night. And so other members of the UTAM popping in to make sure that good night, UTAM. Everybody.
Well, I want to make this point, right? Because the youth convention, it was a powerful moment that underscored the importance of youth leadership within the New National Party. And you just mentioned that the other party is saying that they're more youthful, but have they seen our former political leader? I don't think they have them to dance like him.
But not only that, I think the record is there. And, you know, being at the age that I am right now, I no longer consider myself a youth. I've done that a long time ago. That's why I only see me Sunday. I'm not a youth. I ain't coming. I will support, but I ain't coming. Right?
You're an old...
I'm an old youth. You're right. Yeah. No, the thing is, I could give you the historical thing, is that the New National Party has always been the party that has supported youth. In all the years that you have been around, I've been around. Have you ever heard of a NDC Youth Convention? You ever hear NDC have a youth convention? They go run and have one now. We calling them, we calling them out. They go run and have one now. But they've never had a youth convention. They have this amalgamation of young people with varying degrees of acceptance and who have various interests, personal and otherwise, that get together from time to time, call themselves by different names, and they form what they might call the youth nexus of the NDC. But they have never been the party for youth development. And the Honorable Emlyn Pierre said it the other day when she got into the Ministry of Youth in the early 2000s. In fact, you didn't have a Ministry of Youth. You had a Division of Youth. The budget was $15,000. That was it. It was just a hanging on thing to Ministry of Education and Sports and so on. And when the New National Party left office, you had tens of millions of dollars directly into the Ministry of Youth and millions of dollars otherwise under health, under education, under different departments that was there for youth. And the New National Party has always been the party. Whether you're speaking about Now Senator the Honorable Dwight Oswald, when he first got involved, young person, I think he was in his 20s or early 30s, when he got involved the first time was in the Senate. You had Devon Roche. You could go even for myself. I was in my 30s at that point in time. You have so many others. Honorable Evelyn Pierre, Judd Cadet. Even though I find he playing that kind of thing these days, Nealon Franklin was given the was given the opportunity under the new National Party. Could go and hug up who you want to hug up and hang on who you want to hang on. It's the NNP that gave him the opportunity to sit in the upper house of Parliament. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the new National Party gave him that opportunity. So the NNP has always been the party, not just of youth, that youth come out and vote for the party, but they've always been the party that does what they say for the young people. And your MP, Madam President, your MP promised the young people of Grenada prior to the 2013 general election new Imani program, new youth enterprise initiative programs, and various other initiatives for young people. And within not even 6 months, she had 4,000 young people under a youth program, the new Imani program. This new government can even have 500 under a program after 2.5 years. Within 6 months, Emlyn Pierre, because some people want to talk about Emlyn Pierre and say, well, what Emlyn Pierre ever do? Within 3 months, you had 2,000. By the time 6 months, you had 4,000 young people already under the new Imani program. And outside of that, the same stadium that they said no funding was for and you couldn't build and all kind of thing, Honorable Emlyn Pierre called Madame Ubukian. Don't ask me how to pronounce the name. I just remember she name. I can't pronounce none of the other Chinese names. Ubukian, she called her in her office. They had a conversation. Dr. Mitchell himself had a conversation with her because she was at the sword turning ceremony. She said that Dr. Mitchell had the conversation and told her it's not stadium, it's stadia. And within less than 2 years, Honorable Emlyn Pierre had the Karani James Stadium built. So it's a person who has a track record of achievement. So when they're talking about youth, we say, show me the money. What have they done for young people between June 2022 and now? What have they done for young people? Yeah?
Sheldon, I just want to make this point, right? And it's interesting enough that on Sunday, the executive, they gave up their position at the head table, right? And to me, that sent a clear indication that there is a space for us within the organization and that we are well on our way to bridging the gap. And it also shows how much the NNP respects youth, right? So I just wanted to say that in terms of you bring the point that NNP is the party for youth. So that just sent a clear message that we are in the right place.
And Mokopen is saying here, this young lady, Miss George, I love her stubbornness and no fear attitude. Makes me remember the way I was, and even now we're still keeping on. Tarek, we want to see you on the platform next, huh? We're looking forward to seeing you on the platform next. So we know what to expect when Miss Japal gets on the platform. So we're waiting to see when you get on the platform now. What going to happen, man? You had enough training.
I had sufficient training from National Youth Parliament, so it's you'll get a lot from me and Amanda going forward. Just to on the point Amanda made before we came to that, in relation to opportunities, no young person that been a part of the new National Party could ever say that they have not gotten an opportunity to put their skills, their talents, their ambitions, or anything that they strive for to use. The new National Party has always demonstrated up till this day that they will continue to give young persons opportunities, that they will continue to give persons the ability to put their skills and their talent to use. So even if somebody cross or even if they go anywhere, they will always have that in their mind, that the new National Party always has given them an opportunity.
Now, and the question here comes from a particular place. What do you see happening, knowing what happened before? Because I'm pretty sure both of you know what happened during the period 2013 to 2022 with young people. All that was done by the Honorable Emlyn Pierre. Then you had Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. You had the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters. So you had various people that came in, but you saw the volume of work that was done during that period of time. How do you compare and contrast that with what you see going on right now, if anything is going on? But how do you compare and contrast that with what is taking place in Grenada right now for young people? And what are you hearing from young people when you interact, when you go on the blocks, because I know you go on the blocks, when you're passing in town and they stop you to talk to you, or they meet you in the supermarket or wherever? What are you hearing from the young people, and how do you compare and contrast what has taken place since the new National Party left office in 2022 for youth development in Grenada?
Well, Sheldon, we know that we had programs like Project Fly, like Empower, the Money program. We had countless programs. We had Project Reach, and all these were programs that were geared, according to Minister Kate Lewis, to help the less fortunate and the vulnerable persons. Also, persons in prison. Project Reach was designed for them. What we see happening when the new administration came into power is that the NNP had to advocate on youth's behalf to say, hey, you need to start back the Empower program. That is one. So they removed some of the programs and they weren't doing it. The next thing, Sheldon, that really baffled me is like there is this contest, right? There is this contest, and I'm sure Tarek picked it up. We had Elevate, and by Monday, Sheldon,
Elevate her.
Then
you saw was the Monday. I think they probably tried the same day.
Then we had our youth convention when we announced our youth convention on Sunday. Then Saturday they had a youth activity as well when we were having our rally in Boucherjou. The same day they had a youth activity in Radisson. It was geared to start at 2 o'clock, but our rally started at 5, so they started promptly at 5 o'clock. I know, I was there. So I think more of a competition. So as to say projects or anything being done, Sheldon, no, there are no projects. It's more of a competition than there are really projects. And we have to keep advocating for our youths, because if our youths are our future, then we need to build them and put things in place for them. So hats off to the new National Party for standing up and advocating on behalf of our youths.
And you, Tarek, what do you have to say about that? From what you've seen over the years, being a Hefe, what you have seen over the years with youth development taking place under the new National Party compared to what you're seeing now. Do we really? We don't even have a Ministry of Youth, right now. We have what is down to Youth Division now, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. Under the new National Party, you are a Ministry of Youth. Right now, you're down to not even a youth department. You have a youth ministry division. So they're down to a division right now. That shows the level of importance they give to it, that they've downgraded what existed under the NNP. What do you have to say about this particular issue, Tarek?
So to compare and contrast the NNP from 2013 to 2022 to the NDC now, there is no way the NDC could come close to the track record of the new National Party when it comes to youth development. In 2020, I attended the Caribbean Leadership Youth Summit in Trinidad and Tobago. It was me, Zoe Hagley, Garvel, and Ali Dowden that represented Grenada at that conference. And it was basically for persons to in leadership to build on their strengths, their capacity, and all these things. And I got to meet Mr. Charles Henry, who passed away. May his soul rest in peace. Who always, when we went for lunch and so on, he always speak about our political leader Emlyn Pierre. And he always said that she has been the best minister of youth in the Caribbean and in the region. And while we used to have our one-on-one conversation, he used to always say he loved her style in terms of how she basically deals with youth issues, youth concerns, and how she strategically planned for some of the programs that we do have today. In relation to Empower, right now, Trinidad and Tobago has taken Empower to the next level. I know at that time, at the same leadership conference, we met with Shamfa Kujo, and she was like, she and Minister Kate have to dialogue in relation to Empower. And today, Empower is in TNT making its headway. Right now, they bringing Empower to the villages, to the blocks. They having sessions with young men at mentorship program and so on. So we can see that the new National Party Empower program has the potential to become one of the Caribbean's greatest program as it relates to that central pillar as it relates to young men. As of 2022, what you see happening when it comes to the government and new development is that they have taken a laid back approach in terms of how they really augment the youth programs that was there. Some they may try to dismantle some. In some instances, they may try to get rid of new National Party persons who they know who are new National Party persons. They'll try their best to get rid of them. But I say to the young persons, have no fear. You have your skills, you have your opportunity, you have the ability, you have your certificates. You can always get a job within the state of Grenada. So do not fear if they try to victimize you in any sense. But basically, what is there is what the new National Party had. So it gives a good kudos to the new National Party that the programs that we had was working for our young persons. That's why they have it there, and they can't think outside of the box to do anything else.
Now, we've seen them try to eviscerate what existed as the Imani program. We've heard of many young persons who were under the program no longer engaged by the program. In fact, this month I've heard from quite a few who were working within the private sector and their term of engagement has ended. The government basically told the private sector, no, we're not keeping these people. You all have to take them. If you don't take them, then we just send them home, that sort of thing. Have you been getting some feedback from young people who were involved in the different programs? What are they saying? The people who were involved in programs under the NNP, what are they saying? I've heard what you all have said about your personal view of what is taking place. What have you been hearing from the young people that you have been interacting with about what they see happening right now? And what are they asking for?
Well, Sheldon, I'll tell you this. I had a conversation with someone, right? I had a conversation with someone in Telescope. As a matter of fact, they messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, I really, really need to talk to you. It's urgent, right? And the first thing they said is this: we need programs. Amanda, we need programs. There are no programs for our young men. And remember, we just mentioned that we had the Empower program, right? Mm-hmm. And now they're saying that there are no programs for young men. I think sometimes, Sheldon, what we miss is personal touch as well. And that is what MP Emlyn Pear, political leader, brought when she was into the Ministry of Youth. So you can have an Empower program now and you're just teaching, but do you love it? Do you have a passion to actually see young people move forward and grow? And I think that is what they're lacking. So you can try to emulate our programs and recreate it, change up the names, but do you have that vision for our young people? Do you have that love for our young people? And I think that is what they're lacking. So our young people, they're seeing certain programs being recreated, but Sheldon, they're not feeling the love. They're not feeling the touch. So why should I go there? And so that particular individual said, hey, we need that back. We need Emlyn Pear to come back. And this is just how they said it, to come back and start things with us. We need you, Amanda. We need Kitaka. We need the youth outside here. So Sheldon, yes, some programs do exist at this point in time, but they're lacking a lot of things. They're lacking the touch of the new National Party. And that is what young people want to see, especially in my area in St. Andrew Southeast.
Just to build on what Amanda said, in terms of what they're lacking, but the biggest thing of all that they're lacking is empathy. Empathy is what this government lacks, and I don't see they're trying any ways to amend their lack of empathy in any sense. As it relates to young persons, as Amanda said, a lot of person messaged me after Sunday indicating that they would like to have some block sessions. They would like to have these type of events that usually used to happen within the National Party, like Let's Vibes, in which Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis used to have when she was minister, with Senator Nolan Cox as well. You go out on the blocks, you interact, you engage, you have that sense. So at the end of the day, basically, you're hearing straight from the young persons what they want, what are their needs, what assistance they really need. And one of the biggest how should I put it? One of the biggest things that hurt in terms of a youth program is the dismantling of the youth-based program, which was one which deals with basically developing the small business sector in your country. And if you do not see the foresight in having the basically you moving the youth-based program forward and not dismantling it, then after it speaks to what you will do with certain policies that we see that you are dealing with. So at the end of the day, youth-based, I believe, is something that they should start back, that they should get going, so that the small business sector in the country could feel that pump in terms of resources. They could basically build and strive.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that Youth Biz, and I must say this about all of the programs that you saw from the new National Party in the new National Party time in office, all of the programs didn't come by Honorable Emlyn Pierre and Dr. Mitchell, the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell and others sitting in a room and saying, okay, we're doing A, B, C for young people. But it came out of direct interaction with the young people from Petit Martinique to Point Saline. Interacting with young people, I could tell you, because I know it at times that 10 o'clock in the night would take me in Hermitage, down in Kalalua and all these kind of places, or in Rose Hill, or in Baghdad, all over the place. 10 o'clock in the night would take you there interacting with young people, with different groups and so on. One of the things that some folks have noted now as well is that we've seen a breakdown in the amount of youth groups that exist in Grenada. Whereas before you had this plethora of youth groups. Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters could tell us about that we had this plethora of youth groups. Now you recognize how many youth groups you know about in your community that
I don't
active
have
and doing
any.
things?
It was one of the requests.
Go ahead, Amanda.
It was one of the requests I had while traversing St. Andrew Southeast during my campaign. Person saw the need for having a youth group. Just back to the point you mentioned, Sheldon, it's very important. You can plan for people, as Ms. Lewis would say, but you also need to plan with the people, right? And that was definitely one of the things they mentioned, the importance of youth groups, and not even political youth groups, but non-political youth groups where young people can come together, interact, and to build themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But to build on what Amanda said, you see, things are not difficult. Information is not difficult and shouldn't be difficult to find in any ministry across Grenada. There is a youth directory that the new National Party started where youth officers went out. They collected contact information, email addresses for young persons that had youth groups and so on. So basically, all this government have to do is basically just call, send an email, make contact with them just to revive them. So it's not difficult in terms of you having that ability to recreate so that persons could have the community groups back up and running.
And that's the thing, because I could tell you in my previous engagement with the Ministry of Youth between 2005 and 2009, the youth officers went out there and they collected this information. They had all this information together. So you knew when you were having Global Youth Service Day, which used to be sometime around October, November, you knew who were the young people that you would call, and you would have these groups of young people that would come together and do projects on a constituency basis. So I myself went right around the island, even had to leave, go to Carriacou and Petit Martinique, because there were youth groups doing projects in both islands as well. So you would go and you would have these young people. That is missing, and it was an important avenue for keeping our young people together, because back in those days, 2004, 2005, 2008, that kind of thing, the technology wasn't what it is right now, that folks tend to spend all their time in a mobile device or online. You still had the community where fellas would go out and just hang out on the block and talk, and not everybody sit down on the block because that's where they're getting Wi-Fi, so they're there chatting to other people, but they're close by. And we're missing that in our community now. You to a stage right now where folks, a guy would stay home, lie down on the bed or lie down on the couch and just be on a phone, talking with friends and so on. Whereas before, that would be something you go and play basketball, cricket, football, whatever. Or you hang on the block, you make a cook, or you just hang on the block and talk. And the community groups help that. This government has not been focusing on building any community groups. I would challenge the present administration to tell us within the last 900 and some days how many community groups they have reinvigorated or created. And I'm pretty sure that the answer is zero. I'm pretty sure the answer is zero.
Sheldon, my thinking to that would be, if you're victimizing persons and you're discriminating persons, how can you get me to come outside and to join one of your groups? I think that is the biggest. I think that's the biggest issue here. If I'm being victimized and discriminated against, and my constitutional right is not being valued, then I wouldn't go outside. And it's just plain talk bad manners. There is no empathy. There is no love. There is no care for me. So which group you putting me in? Sheldon, which group you really putting me in?
The NNP group.
And then again, it makes it a bit difficult for these sporting groups that may want to have activities or recreate on any playing field or so on, that you have to seek permission, and then once you seek permission, you have to go back and forth. So it makes it difficult, as opposed in your national party time, where you just go to a playing field, you have fun, you have games, if parliamentary representative, you write to them asking them for assistance in terms of you probably want to help them, in relation to the sporting group may want them parliamentary office to help them with drinks or so on. So under the NNP, you had that freedom to do certain things. Right now, you have to go through the channel of the back and forth bureaucracy.
And one thing I want to ask about, again, you all are the ones interacting with the young people, so I'm asking you all these questions. Now, when it comes to scholarships as well, because as Amanda rightly said just now, you're telling me come out. What are you really doing for us? You're victimizing my friends. You've sent home 3 of my friends and 2 of my relatives. You're victimizing down to my mother. You take her off the seed program, everything. And then you're asking me to come out to a program that you have. So many of the young people will not come out. They will not take part. Outside of that, the New National Party was known as the political organization that ensured that literally thousands of young people got the opportunity to further their education, be it even at the level of university, the St. George University and so on. I have been getting calls, I've been getting messages from many young people who are having challenges right now in relation to SGU and their payments and that sort of thing. What have you all been hearing in relation to young people and scholarships and that sort of? This government talks a big talk. But at the end of the day, when you hear from the people who are actually in it, and I'm talking about people who are within the public service and they're doing a course down at SGU and they're not receiving the support, and other people who are just not receiving the support for whatever reason, while some getting it nice and easy, others are not getting the support. What have you all been hearing from some of the young people in relation to furthering their education, which is an important aspect of youth development? What have you all been hearing?
Sheldon, go ahead, Tarek.
Sheldon, I must commend the New National Party as it relates to the assistance to young people that used to attend the T.A. Marisho Community College, in terms of them paying half of their tuition and so on. So when you hear persons saying that the New National Party never used to do nothing, that's why they have to implement free tuition, that's That's baseless in every aspect, because under the new national party, anybody wanted assistance, you go to the parliamentary office, you follow the procedures to get half of your tuition paid. If when it comes to graduation, you get half of your graduation fee paid. So there was different things that was happening in terms for young persons in that area. As it relates to scholarship, some persons, I know of a friend, she said, Terry, right now I have to bust my head to find money because the money don't reach on time and I can't sit my exam. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So I had to channel her to somebody who could have assisted her in the process. And then after the money came, so as I told her, well, the money came, so probably you could put it towards the next semester or so. But it arrived late, so it delayed her in the process of completing her exam. So these are some of the bureaucracy that I think the government needs to work on in terms of ensuring that they meet their deadline in terms of payment, so that young persons can complete their exams and so on time.
Yeah, and you, Amanda?
I am laughing because Tarek mentioned TAMCC and assistance with TAMCC. But I think in the year 2024, with all this free tuition and everything, we noticed for the first time in history that students were marching and protesting outside for their labs.
And just remember, the Prime Minister's son is attending that institution at this time as well, when they're protesting. But that's the thing. You see, it's with this administration, one of the things that we recognize is they're all about the optics. They're about how things seem to people. So it may not have a base. It may not have any substance to it. It's a shell. But it's how it appears to somebody. So they see an egg that has been drained and they think there's an egg, they buy it. And then when you crack the egg, you realize there's only air inside there, everything else drained out from it already. It have a hole at the bottom. So that is how this government operates. Everything is about optics. So when it comes to youth, there's a lot of optics, but there's not a lot actually taking place that young people benefit. Again, I just want to roll back to something Tarek was speaking about earlier, and yourself, Amanda, when you spoke about youth enterprise and the work that has been done in youth enterprise over the years by various new national party governments, putting millions of dollars into the hands of young people to start businesses. But you know what happened? You put the money into young people's hands, you start businesses. So, for instance, when we left office in 2008, there were many young people that had businesses that were operating, funded, they were doing well, and so on. The NDC administration of that era came in. They did not follow up with the young people. What happened? If you're not checking in on them, you're not giving guidance, you're not lending whatever assistance you have to lend at whatever level, not necessarily cash, but at least saying, okay, you're doing this, but you should do that. And having that sort of thing, the mentorship. What is going to happen to the businesses? In many instances, it's going to fail, because most of these young people, it was their first business that they're getting into, they're learning, and whereas you could have mentored them to get them to have it sustained, many of the businesses failed, not because they were bad businesses or the young people were bad young people, but because the then NDC administration did not give the assistance it's supposed to give. We see the exact same thing happening between 2022 and now. You had young men that were given computers and so on because they're into music production, to set up their local lab and so on, because this government does as though only them who know young people like music and that kind of thing. But the NNP government gave those sort of things, and I think it was under the same Empower program. They gave some young men weed eaters, they gave the blowers, they gave the power washers, they gave them equipment so that they could go and do carpentry. Different things were given to the young people. But if you as the government, and government should be a continuum, if they don't follow up with them, these businesses will fail. But they want it to fail because they want to say, NNP give that to 200 young people, and then you see all of it fail. All of it fail. Without people understanding, but wait, these were the people that were supposed to be helping these young people, give them guidance and mentorship to get them to the point that they have to get to. It's a sad situation that we see happening right now. Yeah, it's a sad situation.
You talk about optics, Sheldon, but sometimes I get the feeling, according to Brian Grimes, that NDC just has this list and they're just ticking off these things. Okay, so we made this promise in 2022, so let me tick this off, let me get this done. let me do this, let me do that, you know. And I think that is where we are with this government. So it's all flash and no substance, like a bougainvillea tree.
It's pretty to look at, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It might hold some soil in our area, but that is it. Yes.
That's it.
Yes, indeed. And for those of you just joining us, it's just 10 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. We have on the live with us tonight, we have the president of the New National Party, UTAM, and the vice president. So we have Miss Amanda Japel George and Mr. Terrick Frank on with us as well. We're just discussing different issues as relate to youth and young people. To you, Mrs. George, right?
Yeah.
Right, Mrs. George. I want to be disrespectful. Mrs. George, now there is the youth parliament, and you're a member of the youth parliament. Explain that a bit to us. I know there was a concept, and Mr. Roy and Bihari, wherever you are, I know you could bear me out on that. There was the concept of doing exactly that. In fact, what happened is that they basically carried out something that was enshrined by the New National Party anyway. Instead of having the young people coming in a youth parliament and just talk, you wanted to have an actual youth parliament where people are empowered, no tokenism. So now we have seen it implemented. Explain to us what your roles are and that sort of thing. What exactly are the roles of the youth parliamentarians, and what are some of the things that you are going to be doing as a youth parliamentarian?
Well, youth parliamentarians is all about advocating. Some of the things that I want to do in St. Andrew Southeast: have a self-defense class, have emotional intelligence course. I'm currently working on a agriculture project for Carriacou School, which merges agriculture with technology and entrepreneurship. I also have an independence quiz coming up among 3 primary schools between St. Andrew Southeast and St. Andrew Southwest. So there's a lot of things going on. But basically, youth parliamentarians are there just to advocate on the behalf of youths within the ages of 16 to 35. So the same thing you mentioned, Sheldon, about scholarships, we will be advocating for that. We will be advocating for policies that is centered around us, things that we would like to see change for youths in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and very specifically to me, St. Andrew Southeast. So basically, I do have a list of things that I would like to achieve within my constituency. I built a team, and we're working towards achieving all our goals for St. Andrew Southeast.
So you're doing a lot of advocating, but you're actually doing some, not just advocating, because from what you mentioned there, that's way past advocating. That's actually getting some stuff done as well. As a young woman in 2025 Grenada, what would you say to many of the other young ladies that are out there? And I'm speaking about the various categories. We have many young ladies. Some didn't complete a primary school. Some did not complete secondary school. Some may have completed secondary but didn't even go on to tertiary education. And they're just there right now. They're in limbo. It's just like they're living day to day with no real plan of how they're going to, where they want to see themselves next year, January, or even 5 years from now. What would you say to these young ladies out there? Speak to your sister and them out there. Those young ladies at that level, but even the ones right now who may be taking some time off from their studies at SGU to listen to you tonight, and the ones who are in the secondary school system. What would you say to the young ladies of Grenada tonight?
I would want to say that you are enough, that you are important, and that you have something unique to bring to the table, and that you were born to do great things. And I think that is something that I mentioned during the convention. I think it was Neil Gaiman that said, be the you that you can be, because the world needs you, right? There is only one you, right? So you have something unique and special that you can bring and make a difference in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. One thing my parents always taught me when I was younger: when you're in school, your school is your job. So if you're in university right now, the road might get tough, it might get difficult, but think about the success that you will have at the end of the road. Even if you haven't completed school, remember that there is a place for you. You mightn't be versed in education in terms of maths and English, but You may be doing very well with a skill. Skills make money. Even the bankers go to the hairstylists. Even the bankers go and do their nails. So there is a place for you. And, you know, just think positive. Put God first, and you will do great, great things.
Yes, indeed. And I hope that the young ladies are listening, because you have an example of a young lady that decided, nah, I ain't gonna just stay home and juke my phone for the entire day or juke my tablet for the entire day. I'm going to go outside and do something. I'm going to become involved. Terika, a question I have for you though. I think don't get frightened, man. Come that way. Now, as a young man, I know that especially in the area that you grew up and the era that you grew up, you know of certain things that used to happen when you were small and you're not seeing them happening now. For instance, I often use this one when I'm speaking to people. You have a situation where years ago when I want mango, me and my partners go in the bush. We go in and find mango. These days, when you want mango, you pass in town and you buy it in a plastic bag. Or you pass somebody with a stall at the side of the road and you buy. Whereas you'd pick half ripe and berry with bush and thing to ripe, all kind of thing. You're supposed to know about them kind of thing. Nowadays, you see a disconnect between what existed before and what exists now. We understand Grenada is modernizing. But what do you think can be done to sort of keep some of our traditions and some of our culture? Because it seems as though we're losing a lot of our culture and our traditions. We've already lost patois, forget that. Grenadian patois is gone. It ain't coming back. The people who spoke that, they're gone. You might possibly have one. I know of probably one alone that would speak original Grenadian patois, but that's gone. Carriacou tends to keep their tradition, so I'm not too worried about them. They still dancing cake and all kind of thing over there for wedding and so. But on mainland, we've lost a lot. What do you think can be done to try and preserve some of that for not just this generation, your generation, but for 100 years from now, they could say this was the point that something took place to preserve that culture that we can now show the world and say is ours?
What I believe is best is for us to come to the point that we have to speak truth to power, and it all starts with our education system. So I believe in that area, if we start at that point in terms of well, I know during school you have the social studies period. If something could be added for cultural preservation during that period of social studies, to get the young men basically to understand that, okay, we know the technology is there, we know the technology is infiltrating within Grenada and other Caribbean territories, but how do we guard against what we watch in movies, which is fiction, what we watch in movies, as opposed to what we grew up in era knowing, going out playing cricket, playing football, playing video games, running up and down, playing mango, you're beating table, playing teacher, you're doing all these type of things because why? You had that sense of community, you had that sense of persons that cared for you. I'm not saying that persons don't care for the children these days, but everyone, it boils down to everyone as taking individual responsibility in order to ensure that culture is preserved within the state of Grenada. So if we start in schools from since grade 6, or if we could even start before that, and then when the children enter Form 1, you have cultural preservations. You can go outside, they do the marbles, they do the football. All that is already part of the physical education system. But basically, you having to nip that in the bud. And I believe community groups is very important in preserving culture. If we have community groups active within our communities, and this will be one of the things that the new National Party Youth will be taking leadership on, in terms of getting groups back, getting groups formed back in different communities so that young men could come out, they could play their football, they could play their cricket, they could play their basketball, have different sporting competition, have different work. Something that I've been thinking through the day to day is a walk from probably from within the constituency of St. George Northeast, from Venom to Granite, and DJ music is like a health to getting people active back again. So these type of activities to bring back community, bring back persons together, so that they can feel the love that, okay, I'm responsible for my child, but yes, I'm responsible for every child within the community.
Yes, indeed. And because I don't think most young people now, they don't know how to play Pong Stone. I think most young people now don't even know what is Pong Stone.
I don't know what is Pong Stone.
No, Miss Japal. Mr. and Mrs. Japal, deal with Amanda, please. Amanda, I don't know it's Pong Stone?
No.
My
I don't
goodness.
know what is Pong Stone.
No.
I guess we should along with Terry,
I'm feeling old,
have
boy.
government
What?
policies.
Papa, I'm feeling real old now, boy. What? Well, I can't. You could play hopscotch at least, though.
Yes, I know hopscotch.
Chinese skip.
I don't know that.
Jesus. Tarek, you're staying quiet because you don't know either. Tarek, you know to make a slingshot, brother. Tarek?
I could try.
Without going on YouTube, you know how to make a slingshot?
No.
My goodness. No, but you all understand the point I'm making here.
Yeah.
That we are losing a lot of our cultural heritage, and you all as young people, maybe we, the generations who have gone before, have not done enough to pass it on to you all. Because remember, it is now the responsibility of you all to pass it on to your children. So we have to make sure to pass it on to you all, that you all can now pass it on to your children as well. We have a situation where we have a lot of secondary school children and so don't know how to climb a tree, They cannot climb a mango tree. They can't climb a tree. I'm telling you straight, they can't climb a tree. You understand? So we come to that situation, and there's a lot that can be done in relation to that, because we have to make that connection now. And I think that's where the new National Party is so important, and has always been a conduit for doing these sort of things, by making that connection between the elder generation and the younger generation, and passing on that institutional knowledge and that cultural knowledge to the younger generation. And I look forward to being part of helping to do that with you all as well. Honorable Pierre, it seems as though we have to have a Pong Stone and call Amanda and them. We have to have a Pong Stone and thing, and we had to cut some bamboo and make a little bamboo and all them kind of thing and bring them and so and get them involved in that. You know how to bust bamboo? Well, I ain't going to ask you, know how to bust bamboo. Teach them how to bust bamboo and all kind of thing. We'll teach, no, we go teach all you. And it's important, because when you ask yourself what is a Grenadian, there are certain things that make us unique. And if we give up the things that make us unique and we only grab what America has and England have and other countries have, then we're no longer unique. We just accepting everything from everybody. There's nothing that makes you separate as a Grenadian, and we have to work on that. Yeah, definitely.
Sheldon, I think what we need, in addition to what Turk said, are government policies that actually protect our cultural heritage.
Because we have the creative, what they call it, the ministry. I'm not sure if it's a ministry or statutory body or whatever it is.
Creative industry.
Creative industry. We hear about it from what I hear. I see they still do have an office, but anyway. But we hear about them. And you ask, okay, creative industry, but what have they done to help preserve? Yes, there are many young people who are talented, and we're thankful for the opportunity for them. But what has been done to preserve that cultural heritage, the Brian Nancy stories, all of those things? What has been done to preserve and pass along that? Again, as I say, Carriacou have it down pack. Old people, young people, they can do big drum. They know how to do the quadrille, all these kind of things. They passed it on. Although they've lost certain aspects of it right now, but they've passed it on mostly. But here on the mainland, it seems as though we're not passing on anything. We're not passing on anything to the young people.
So probably, Sheldon, that's, well, every night they do listen to the program, so that's one of the suggestions they can take and increase.
We don't mind. I'll look at teeth that one. We mind.
All for Grenada. So that's one of the advice probably they can take as it relates to the Ministry of the creative industry. In creative industry, that in terms of cultural preservation is to have that community gathering community spirit once again, and the mentorship program in terms of the elders teaching the young persons different things, different aspects of life, of living, of production, so that basically we will be able to pass it on to the next generation as well.
Indeed.
Can even use technology to document all of your culture. And get passed on from generation to generation. I think that's the smartest, innovative way to use technology.
Yes, indeed. And folks, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something tonight. I'm going to try and take some calls, but I'm not sure how that will work out, if you all might be able to hear the calls. I may have to transcribe for you all. But let me try and take some calls. Phone lines are open, 440-7377. We're trying something new tonight here. That's why I'm trying to take the calls. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. The phone lines are open. We're speaking to the President and Vice President of the New National Party Youth Arm. And just so that you all know, the New National Party Youth Arm, easy youth arm, The New National Party Youth Arm is connected with a regional body, the Caribbean Young Democratic Union. And we have our first caller online. And let me see how I'm doing that. I might have to do that like this. Let me try it like this. And pull up that call. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Okay. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Wonderful youth convention, and to say to them, press on, brother and sister, press on. We're looking for it because we lost it. This administration trying something, is trying to steal something, but we lost it. Let us go NNP. All the way. Congratulations, ladies and gents. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Colin. I hope you all were able to hear that one there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you all were able. You all were able to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so that's working. I know to use that from now on. Right. And we have another caller coming through. Let me just put that caller through one time. Hello, good night.
Is this talking point?
Yes, caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good night. Yes, Mr. Scott, I was listening the House of Representatives today. You understand? And it's very sad, eh? I listening this thing and, people just calling and before Mr. Emlinte could talk. And they just bashing the woman on live and they're listening to what the woman's saying. I don't understand Greenlands. We have to listen and get information as much as possible. You understand? People explaining this pension bill and this thing is illegal. You understand? I don't understand where else Greenlands, Judge. We're just so politically buried in the sand. I don't know. I was so baffled today. Under the live, I'm watching and just reading comments. That was my whole thing today, Judge. I just want to call and say that. Greenlands, you have to open your eyes and listen to things from all kind of sources. And today was the best source to listen from the parliament itself. You understand? And get information and learn for yourself and make sense of nonsense. You understand? Because most of the speakers from the government were just arrogant. I listen to Mr. Ronnie there, Judge, and I don't know what to take away from it. I don't know. I listen to Ms. Emlyn and I get real information, real concerns about the bill. You understand? And these things was just, I don't know what to say, Mr. Scott. Good night. And there's my contribution for tonight.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. I hope that you all heard that one as well. You all heard that one?
Yeah, based on what the caller said, I will reiterate what the chairman said on Sunday. It's important that we defend our party. It's important that we defend our political leader. It's important that we defend every member of the New National Party. They know what is at stake. They do know what is at stake, so it won't be an easy road because they're going to come after each and every one that they believe, each and every one of us, I should say, they will come. But it won't be an easy road. So we have to defend our party, we have to defend our political leader. And when you tune in on the live and so on, you put your comment, you defend with the facts, of course. And after that, you just swipe across. There's a pad that you can swipe where you could see no comments, and you just pay close attention and you stay focused on what is being said.
Yes.
My thing is, Sheldon, the decorum in the house today. I mean, it speaks volumes of the quality of leaders that we have. So when you see the comments are pouring in like that, then it starts from the head. So if the head is behaving a type of way, then the followers, the tails would automatically behave a type of way as well. So I think really and truly what the Prime Minister and the NDC government needs to do is go back and review the rules of the House and understand and remember what our forefathers and parents have taught us of manners and respect. And I think that is what they're lacking. Because it doesn't matter which side you're politically affiliated with, Mr. Scott, you should have respect. And I think that is one of the basic things we were taught when we were younger. So just ignore the comments. As Terek said, if you want to defend, but do not like, do not pay any, as a matter of fact, do not pay any attention to it. Or back broad, Mr. Scott, mind our business. Because once you start paying attention to that on social media, you have to remember that the algorithm is going to continue bringing up these things, and you don't want that. You'll give them more fire. You'll have them be more visible, and that is what you don't want. Just ignore it. Sometimes you just have to let things slide.
And the amount of things I just let slide on a daily basis, I mean, man, what I could have my own water park with water slides because the amount of things I just let slide on a daily basis. And the thing is this, and let me see if I could bring in this caller before I make my point, because I think the callers are more important tonight. Hello, good night.
A pleasant good night to you, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
I would like to say congratulations to Amanda and Tarek. Congratulations to you all, and don't let them get all down. And I'll be looking forward working with you all. So have a good night and take care. We love you. I love you. And I'm so proud of you. My whole family is proud.
Yes, indeed. Yes, folks, and that song as a young person that day, man. Yes, indeed. And I'm saying this, the attacks will come, and you expect the attacks. You expect that people will come and they will try to attack and so on. I know, for instance, just less than a week ago, there was a young man that stepped forward at an NNP meeting and asked to become a member. A photo was taken and put out of the young man. Papa Jome is what they don't say, and they start to attack the man and all kind of thing. It's like we're beginning to live in a society where we are not allowed to support who we want to support or to have any position like we want to have. We have a caller online again. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night. Good night, my brother Sheldon.
Good night, good night.
Yeah, I'm calling all the way from Canada.
All right, Canada in the house. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was listening a little bit today to the session in the house, and after the leader of the opposition spoke, the gentleman that came after, he was making a point, and instead of the address as the leader of the opposition, he said somebody mentioned about some leader as though he doesn't know. And I thought that was a great disrespect. So I just wanted to point out that.
All right. Thank you so very much, my friend. Yeah, and you see, that's the thing, I tend not to pay attention to the comment section. You know, every time I go onto anything that GIS has or Government of Grenada have, I mute the comment section. I don't pay attention to that at all. Because there is so much negativity and ignorance and arrogance. That's the thing. As I mentioned on last night's program, there's a lot of ignorance and arrogance by some of these individuals. They are ignorant of the facts, the truth of what something really is, or what surrounds something, or what has caused something. But they are arrogant in their ignorance, in that they feel they must come out and speak on every single issue and make noise about these things. So instead of bothering my brain, I just mute the comment section. So they could say what they want. I mute the comment section. They ain't coming in this comment section. They ain't coming here. There's the lion cage. They ain't coming in the lion cage. But on the other things, I just mute the comment section. So I agree with both of you all. But aren't you all afraid though? Because we know that earlier we mentioned that a lot of young people seem to be afraid to openly associate. They tell you, they meet you, they tell you, man, that girl, as an NNP, I like what you're doing. I can't come wrong, but I like what you're doing. Derek boy, I'm glad. You're the vice president, I like that. But I can't show myself, I can't put on the t-shirt, but if I put on the t-shirt, I ain't gonna get the local fortnight. I ain't gonna get the local opportunity. I have a thing inside for some material, I ain't gonna get it. Aren't you all afraid?
Well, Sheldon, I don't have to be afraid anymore because when I was attached to CES, as it relates to the COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat, I got my letter a Friday afternoon stating that my service is no longer required. Friday, that was the 27th. Dismissal was on the 31st. So just a few days. So they give me Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to work Monday, Tuesday home. So at the end of the day, you give me the room to be a proud member of the New National Party because I'm not under your whims and fancy anymore. So I have nothing to fear. I'm ready.
Right, wonderful. Amanda, I don't think we have to ask you that question, you know. We're asking you still. I really don't think we have to ask you that question. But we're asking you still. You're afraid, girl.
Let me say this real low-key. Never. According to how those young people like us would say, not a boy could say that, you know. Mr. Scott, one thing my parents always taught me is stand for something or you will fall for anything. And even if I had to get materials, I'm going to do without it. Somebody asked me well, not just somebody, many persons had asked me on more than one occasions. So if an MP flop girl, or they do you something, just like that, what you gonna do? You go walk the floor. I could understand if you walk the floor. I say, me walk the floor? Never. I rather come out of politics than I walk the floor. I'm saying this to say that there are principles with certain things. Me, I would not be afraid to stand up for my rights. It is constitutional. I have a voice. Why can't we learn to agree to disagree? Now, if you cannot respect my opinion, that is your business. But I will stand for my party because I understand what it believes in and I understand its values and its principles. And I am a die-hard NMP, Mr. Scott. That is where I stay. So they will really have to try hard to pull me down from that platform or to shut me up. And the only how they will shut me up is when Father God says, Amanda, this is your time to go home in heaven.
Yes, indeed. And you know, it brings me back to the statement that was made by Dr. Mitchell at the youth convention on Sunday, protect your leader. And when Dr. Mitchell said that, he wasn't only referring to the Honorable Emmeline Pierre, our political leader. He was referring to you all too. Protect your leaders. Because I think many times, we as supporters of the New National Party allow people to pounce and say all kind of thing about our people. And we don't defend. We don't come back and correct them. And sometimes we have the correct information because even now, there are a lot of things that are happening, a lot of things that are being said. And we have people who claim to be supporters of the party that know what is being said is wrong, that know what is being said is false, and would not pick up a phone and call a program and make a clarification, that would not write an article or put out something via social media and say, hey, this is being said and this is untrue. I was involved. This is not true. So we need to ensure that we defend our people. We have to defend our Amanda. I know she could defend herself, but still, we have to defend our Amanda. We have to defend Tarek and the entire youth executive. And even if it is to use our Facebook profiles, and me and believe in this fake profile thing, I say it as Sheldon Scott. Who don't like it, that is their business. I don't have to hide to say nothing. If I have to hide to say that, I don't say it. I say it from my profile. So we can say what we have to say and defend our party. But you tend to find these days especially And I don't know why people afraid this path government, because there was a path government, them gone. You understand? By next election, them out of here. So, I mean, you're afraid of people. The New National Party won 4 seats in 2008 and come back and huff all 11 that the NDC had. And you win 6 this last election. Whatever happened with whatever happened, that is the business. But the New National Party down to the dangerous number 4 again. So, guess how this story ends? Yeah? I see someone trying to call. Let's give them the opportunity. We have a call on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night, sir.
And good night to my young leaders. I want to say to them tonight, one thing, if nothing else, do not compromise your faith. Let no, and my nickname for my little sister Amanda, the little fire lady. don't let they intimidate you. I know it's hard for them to do that, but just keep your eyes, keep your head focused, keep your head straight, stay focused. And the next thing, Brother Sheldon, is that I was looking at the parliament today, and I want to wonder why, when the big little man stand up to speak, he always like he's quarreling with people, always like in a confusion mode, and he want to like talk down to people. Why he have the attitude as a leader to people? Who will take an example of that to bring forward? I know you said that you didn't look at the parliament today.
I didn't get the opportunity.
But I was wondering, my good buddy behind the opposition. I wanted to know what was his role, if he was supporting, or if he had the moment to speak. I'd like to hear him come out on that.
I can't say I didn't get to listen, but I will listen tonight when I get home, God's willing.
And then I'm talking about my brother Chester. And then there was the next point again with the debate. I think the Speaker of the House need to get some training too, because if they pass a bill, the bill was already passed in both houses, and they still come back and debating it again on the floor.
My brother, you don't need to train the Speaker of the House. You need to fire the Speaker of the House. You need to go. They need to get rid of him.
I want to give kudos to the opposition leaders too, to press them and let them think about what they did. Not that because he had to come back on the floor, but to press them and make them see what they did and is wrong. And they're still trying to defend it. And the last thing I want to remind us Grenadians, with the American system, we had what we call them criminals was deported from the US long time ago. I know of two in St. David's, one in Springs, one in the Northeast that was deported years ago before. So the deportation of criminals don't just started. They just a heavier push now because of what had happened in the past 4 years. So I like all Grenadians to listen to the news on both sides. Don't listen to CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, and all those things at one time. Get it all. And if you could get it from the local podcasters, you get the news straight up and direct. So don't take the propaganda that they push into you all. Like one again they had going around with the raiding the schools or what have you. That's pure garbage and lie propaganda to the fullest. And I like, last one, sorry, I don't want to take too much time. Oprah Winfrey is a black woman, right? Jesse Jackson is a black man. Our buddy that fight the last time there, the boxer,
Tyson,
the Bajan, Mr. Tyson, a black man. Snoop Dogg, a black man.
Make it quick, call.
All of those guys and them was Donald Trump body.
My brother.
All of them sit down, eat and fight and drink together and play together.
My brother, wrong discussion for tonight. Bye-bye. We go talk. Enjoy the rest of your night. But we thank you. We thank you very much for your contribution.
All right. So take it easy and have a great one.
Yeah, we thank you very much for your contribution. All right. Good. Thanks. And I think we have another caller online. Hello. Good night.
Good night now.
Hi. Good night. How are you doing?
Well, I'm all right. Happy to be on the show.
Yeah, you're live. Go right ahead.
These young people, because Miss George, she seems to have the kind of fire like I know I'm used to have. And she's not afraid of anybody, just as me. But like this, the caller earlier was saying about after our political leader, Ms. Pierre, spoke. Well, the thief, I'm sorry to say it, but he's a car thief. That dunce, the most dunce person in the whole
Boss, let me don't go down that road. But go ahead. Let me don't go down that road. But just make the statement. But not that state. Let me leave them alone on that. Let me just go down the road. Yes,
okay, but I was very vexed and I'm sorry I was not in Parliament with arrest me.
We have standards, sir. We're not going down that road.
She came out.
Don't go there.
I was showing a stupid thing about they are the ones, and NMP is the one that causes all this thing to be going on here now. And what the thing that bothered me most of them is coming and say that with NMP there was so much demonstrations and this and that and the other. But look at them, they don't have demonstration. But he failed to come out and say, you see, as though the people, the victimizing people, so people afraid to demonstrate, right? He afraid to come out and say that. And the thing about it is that these guys, you have no respect. You will address the opposition leader as somebody. I mean, in the House of Parliament, the Speaker had no right should the Speaker stop it? What is really going on in our country? What's happening? We have to come out, I said it before, we have to come out, we have to start demonstrating, let them see that we don't like what's going on. The Prime Minister is sitting right on the other side and he said nothing. He had no respect himself. He said nothing to this political dunce. I mean, I'm really, really sorry. I can't understand what's going on in this country. And as for the young people, I personally believe at this point in time, even at all there is now, untrained, young as they are, they would make better leaders in this country than the people that is there. They will make better leaders. You can see it, you can listen to the way that these young people speak. I am not too intelligent, but you can hear the intelligence in these people. You're listening to these political people, and you can't really hear anything. They're arrogant. You can't learn nothing from them. All what, is a massacre kind of thing. What I say have to happen. Whether you like it or not, we have the numbers and it have to happen. Someone told me the last time by speaking, we have to come out. The opposition have to come out. We know we're not going to win, but show no confidence. At least you go on record. We have to say we have no confidence in this government. I don't know. I would like to speak somehow to the leader of the opposition. Let them come out and show that no, we're not going to get it because they have the power. But let it go on record.
All
okay?
Right. Okay, caller. Thank you so very much. All right, great. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. Oh, but we have another call online. Let me go straight to the call. One, they're coming through fast and furious today.
Fadu.
Hey, Fadu. Good night, brother. Hello? Yes, sir.
Salute. Good night to your panel too. You get me?
Yeah, man. Good show.
I just realized that I'm now a person of interest to the government of Grenada.
Oh yeah?
Which is crazy. Yep, man. I sent you some information too.
I glanced it.
You get me?
As I told you, I had a kind of busy afternoon. So, but I glanced it.
Well,
yeah.
I said another personal message to piggyback off what the panelists said, that my heart don't pump no fear. I grew up in the Northeast. I used to play football in the road. A lot of the things that's, happening in Grenada right now in terms of living life comfortable, I was in the period before that. So I'll take no threats from the government. You all know my name and a person like this. You get me? I ain't hiding, I ain't disguising nothing. If I feel something wrong, something wrong. So that tactics they ain't gonna work with me. And remember that before doing a 9 to 5, I was all day. You know what I mean?
there's a group of people I could call instantly and we could make some moves. So again, I would like to get in contact with Ms. Pierre to put some things on the table so we could make some moves. I ain't taking no threats from these people.
You didn't get a call today?
Huh?
You didn't get a call today? I asked someone to call you today. Not
but they didn't call, but there's no scene now. My mind was kind of tense too, so I wouldn't have been a good conversation piece. You see, man?
Okay, so I'll go organize for you. Don't worry.
All right, so let's.
Yeah, man.
Grenada, don't take no intimidation from naughty types boys. People that used to get beat up and kick up in school. Don't take no bad up from them. Yeah, I tell you, they doing too much, brother. They're doing too much, bruv. And to take that closely with me, someone like me, brother.
Have a good night, Father. We go talk.
Safe travels, yeah?
Blessed, brother.
No time.
Yeah, yes, indeed, folks. So we've had quite a bit. I didn't get to listen to the Parliament. Usually I try to follow Parliament live as it happens and so on. I didn't get a chance, but it seems as though Parliament was quite eventful today. One of the final questions I want to ask you all now, though, because I know probably the little one probably running around Amanda foot already. So, so I wanna ask a question. Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has stepped away from the leadership of the New National Party after many decades of exemplary service. If you travel from Grenada right now in political circles and you mention Grenada, his name comes up. They don't ask you about any other Mitchell. They ask you about Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. That's the Mitchell they ask you about. They ask you about Karani, they ask you about Dr. Mitchell. That's who they ask about. Considering that, your view on Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, his leadership, his guidance of Grenada over the years, and his guidance not just of Grenada, but of the New National Party, making it not just a political party, an institution. And Tarek, I'm going to start with you and then come to Amanda on this one.
As it relates to the best political leader, the best strategist, the best prime minister, his wisdom, his knowledge over the years has shaped the foundation on what we all will stand on in the future as it relates to Grenada. And wherever he is tonight, I just want to say, Dr. Mitchell, we appreciate you. We thank you so very much for your leadership over the years. As I also indicated to Amanda that as a UTAM, we will have to have a grand celebration for you for your over 40 years of leadership to this party and also 23 years as Prime Minister to Grenada. I don't think there is anyone that will be able to meet that feat anytime soon, except when our political leader becomes the Prime Minister of Grenada. She'll be there for many years to come. So I just want to say, Dr. Mitchell, over the years, your guidance to the ministries, to the Ministry of Youth in particular, ensuring that youth programs are given the necessary funding and budget that it needs, ensuring that Grenada holistically, when you came back in 2013, Treasury empty, had to meet with the finance people right in the back of the trade center to ensure that salaries are paid on time. We just want to thank you so very much for all your leadership over the years. And I say blessings to you, guidance to you, enjoy yourself. I know you'll be continue guiding the New National Party always, and we just want to say thank you so very much, and drinks on me tomorrow.
And Amanda.
Well, Sheldon, before I say anything, I started in the party in 2022, right? So I'm relatively young. I'm a baby in this thing, right? But you can't call Grenada's name, as you said, without calling Dr. Mitchell. All my life, my entire existence, he has been in politics and he has shaped Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique, and that is something that you cannot move away from. He has built the foundation, and he has laid the foundation, and now we're actually building on it. So we are basically standing on the shoulders of a giant. The man who, as Tarek said, he knows how to make a pregnant and empty treasury pregnant. But in all honesty, I think Dr. Mitchell has been the only prime minister in the Commonwealth who has won 15 seats at 3 times. That is no easy feat. It's a testament of his strength and his resilience and his visionary leadership. Grenada has moved from a place where there was no electricity. We have to remember that the new National Party is the one that brought in things like electricity, bringing things like Wi-Fi, telecommunications on a whole. Dr. Mitchell spoke on how we built roads, and they actually called him Stone. So when I think of Dr. Mitchell, I just see progress. I just see vision. I see a complete leader. He has the charisma, he has the charm, he has the vibes. He's vibrant and he gets things done. When you think of the stadium, how it was to how it is right now, when you think of the bus terminus, the cruise ship terminal, come on, you can't beat that. So when you speak of Grenada, you speak of Dr. Mitchell, the Energizer Bunny, the stalwart of Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique, and one exemplary leader within the Caribbean and, by extension, the region.
And indeed, I must say that in my interaction with various political leaders around the region, even some prime ministers, also my interaction with just people who are involved in politics around the region, his name always comes. The moment you say Grenada, his name always comes up. And one of the questions, well, how this man do this thing? This man win 3 times. He win all the seats in an election. And how was he able to do it? And people often forget that as General Secretary of the party in 1984, the new National Party secured 14-1. So they only lost 1 seat. Yeah, and he was General Secretary of the party at that point in time. So he has a history of success. And indeed, I must say that over the years, I have, there's not one occasion that I could say that I've ever lost respect for him. He is someone that I admire wholeheartedly. I believe that he has done a lot, not just for the Caribbean, for the region as well. When it comes to cricket, a lot of what you see, the cricketers that are getting the opportunities now, were due to some things that Dr. Mitchell did. The telecoms, the fact that we can have the devices that we have right now, the access that we have right now, are due to the work of the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell and one Honorable Gregory Bowen. They are the ones that broke the monopoly, although there be children in Pampas still. When they broke the monopoly that cable and wireless had on this country and the region in relation to internet services and mobile services and landline, they are the ones that went and broke the monopoly. I have the video of them on the plane going to St. Kitts. So they can't tell me otherwise, and they can't say a lie. I have the video from in the conference, so they can't say a lie. So this is someone that not only Grenada owes a huge debt of gratitude, but also the region owes a huge debt of gratitude for all that they have done for Grenada and the Caribbean on a whole. Giving you all just 1 minute each final words. Mr. Gentleman, I know they say ladies first, but we leaving the senior person in terms of position for last. So Mr. Gentleman, you first, 60 seconds.
All right, so Sheldon, I want to thank you so very much for having us on your program tonight. I want to thank the viewers, the listeners, the general public who is listening. I want to say that we will continue to do what we have to do to ensure that we advance youth development as the new National Party UTAM, and also as we build and work towards winning the next general election. And I must say it's my pleasure to serve as deputy to this inspiring, awesome, dedicated, hardworking young lady, Amanda Japal George. Is my honor, and we're gonna work. The pressure is on, and I just want to say good night to everyone, and thanks for hosting us tonight.
Thank you, and Amanda.
Well, I too want to echo the same sentiments like Tarek. I want to say a special good night to everyone and thank you, Mr. Scott, for having us here. But I must say that I am indeed honored and humbled and very grateful for the opportunity to first lead and serve as the youth president of the National Youth Arm. And it is actually a testament of the trust and the confidence of the youths of the new national party that they has placed in me and us. And I will definitely not take it for granted because this is not about titles. This is about getting the work done. And I just want to say that the new national party's youth, we recognize your potential as youths out there, and we are ready to work with you to let your voice be heard and to move or to rescue Grenada. So you can message us on Facebook, or you can reach out to the office on 440-1875, 440-1875. Feel free to reach out to us.
Yes,
and I must say good night to my people of Mama Cana as well.
Mama Cana, okay, good night to both of you. I do have a wonderful night, and before you go, just a warning, as of now, every month, someone has to be from the youth arm has to be on the program. So one of the Tuesday nights is going to be for the youth. That just know every month now somebody has to, it's either somebody else, somebody from the youth arm has to be on. We're going to be speaking about various issues. We might be speaking about contemporary issues, but we are making sure that on Talking Points we are dedicating one Tuesday every month to the youth. And we might even give Ollie more time and thing too. Sometimes I might step off and say, "One Ollie come and host the program and things." So you understand?
We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We appreciate Thank you so very much, and continue doing the wonderful job. I am most impressed. I'm most proud of both of you. As a former president of the youth arm myself, I must say I am most impressed, and I love your work ethic and the way that you all have been going about doing what you have done thus far. And I know, with young people like yourselves at the helm of the new National Party Youth Arm, we're looking at a 15-0 again. Enjoy the rest of your night, folks. Yes,
good night, everyone. Take care, all the best.
All right. Folks, I've been speaking there with the president and the vice president of the new National Party Youth Arm, the vice president, Mr. Tarek Frank, and the president, Mrs. Amanda Japel George. I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight, and everything you say, everything you do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. You know how to run and rain, all kind of thing. You understand how the thing go? I am out.
they know what they do is wrong, and it's weighing their conscience down, because all